single episode.
Just tell them you had to be a dumb man.
Yeah.
Every single time.
We have like 0 viewers, so I'm gonna do that thing I do where I just kind of stare at the camera and say a bunch of things. The autofocus feature is really annoying, and I wish I understood where it was coming from. We're live! Hey, look at that. You see us? Are we on, Ross?
I don't see you, man.
Is there only one viewer? Did I not send it to public?
Where are you going live at, Joey Blaze?
I went live on my page.
Here we go.
I got 1 viewer.
Here we go.
It's, now he's gone. And now, hey, Ross is watching. That's 2 viewers, so I know we're public. That's the good news.
Yeah.
Do we got Kato? Hey, okay, now we're getting people. Sean, what up, dude? Legend Boonesboro football right there. Sean Edelin watching our show tonight. We had 4. The golden rule, guys, is we hit 5 viewers. We'll start this up. Till then, I'm just talking. We're at 4. We're okay. We got 5. We got 5. We did it. We did it. We hit our minimum. Excellent. Let's start this off finally.
Let's do this.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a new edition of Blunt Talk featuring Joey Blaze. I'm your host, Joey Blaze. Joining me tonight is Ross Collins.
Hey.
Ross, how you doing? How was your weekend?
Busy.
Busy?
Yeah.
How was it so busy?
Did a little bit of family things, had a little bit of football practice, hoping to have a season here soon.
Yeah.
Play a game. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
It'd be nice to be at football, right? Again, be able to play flag again.
Yes, it would.
But did you enjoy the entertainment we had over the weekend for you?
I did.
The Keystone Flag Football League.
Yeah.
We had our first live stream over the weekend in Keystone, and it was, let me tell you, excellent. Instant classic. Loved every moment of it. I had an absolute blast. It reminded me of the old days of county, the first couple seasons I was up here. Good times all around. We're going to do more up there soon, especially as this spring goes on. I'm trying to get up there again next week, actually, for the Immortals Killer Bees game. That'll be an 11 a.m. kickoff. That's not this week. That's next week, the 13th. I won't be there. I will be, however, in Hyattsville, Maryland, as the Brunswick Railroaders and Montgomery County Rams will square off in a 11-man football game. We're excited about that one.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. We're going to talk about that as well as what happened in Keystone over the weekend. As the X-Dogs faced a challenge for the first time in Keystone. A challenge in the form of the Immortals.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was an instant classic. 14-13 was the final in that one. X-Dogs over the Immortals. X-Dogs still undefeated. However, the 13 is the most that they've allowed so far in Keystone. 14 being the least they've scored so far. That's X-Dogs' worst game, Ross, or would you say this was the case where the Immortals was a step up in competition?
I believe the Immortals were a step up in competition.
You believe so?
I do.
I do too. Especially when you take a look at that team. They were very physical up front with Chili and Moats dominating in the trenches. Let me tell you, up front, filming that game from the quarterback perspective, it was physical. Every single play, and all the guys were going both ways. It was a war of attrition from start to finish. That game was what flag football was all about.
Right.
That was an instant classic. Much praise to the Immortals and the X-Dogs. It was 14-0 at halftime, believe it or not. This game seemed like it was drifting away from the Immortals. However, the Immortals, behind Justin Fox at quarterback. Been a while since we heard that name. Justin Fox returning at quarterback. Rallied the offense with help from Lurie, Chaz, Black and company as they were able to get down the field, make some key plays, only to fall short right at the very end. A blocked field goal, extra point at the end, to make it 14-13.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It was just an awesome game from start to finish. I put it in one of my favorite games of all time. I'm not kidding when I say that.
All right.
It was intense. It was action-packed. It felt like a playoff game. And this is only in April. We're not even in June yet.
That's cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing what else goes on with the Keystone League. But joining us right now, as part of the Immortals, of our former players down here in the Washington County Flag Football League. If I can get them on. I sent him the request. I don't know if he's still watching it or not. He might have dipped out, bro. I was about to call you in. But while I wait for that to work out, only 4 of us tonight. Dang. Share this out, guys. Like, if you're watching, share it, man.
Oh, that's pretty watching.
We got guys in? Okay. I'm going to send a request again.
Planes here now. They got 6.
Ah, perfect. Got my man right now. So joining us right now, we mentioned him earlier on the Immortals. He was key behind that pass rush that gave Matt Eisenberg fits all game. See if he's connecting on. There, I lost him again. There he is. Finally, we got you, Philly.
Yo, what's up, Joey?
Nothing much, sir. How you been doing?
Oh, I can't complain.
You feeling it after that game on Saturday? It looked like it was pretty tense up front between you guys and the Dogs. That was a real dogfight, I might say, myself.
Yeah, it was definitely a good fight in the trenches. You know, the X-Dogs, they are a well-built team, and they're built for that. So with the physicality and the chemistry that the X-Dogs bring to the table, we were definitely prepared, but not prepared at the same time, because we didn't have our full roster. But that's taking nothing from the X-Dogs. But you can rest assured that when we play next time, that we coming forward. So you can believe that.
That was the one thing that stood out to me too. The X-Dogs outnumbered you guys on the sidelines by a good margin, and still you managed to hang within 1. What was the biggest key to your guys' success over the weekend that kept you alive in that game?
Well, the biggest key for our success was, I would definitely have to say, our composure. Our composure. We had a bunch of veterans on the sideline, and the few that we did have, they've been there before. So just keeping our cool. We went down 14-0. We all know champions are made in the fourth quarter and the second half. Sir. So that's when we fought back. And second half, we, like I said, and we actually when we was going for the field goal, we had a bobble snap, and Justin, he caught the 2-point conversion. So we actually could have. Yeah, we could have won that, you know. So he caught that 2-point, but we had 10 on the field, so that definitely hurt us in the end. But like I said, we fought back, and it was a very physical game, and that's what 9-man flag football was all about.
I fully, wholeheartedly agree. That was an instant classic, and the best choice to start Keystone off with for the live streaming broadcast, to give our viewers the first glance at what the league's all about. I see what you have over the weekend up there. You got Fox, you got Lurie, you got Black, you got Regan, you got Chaz. I'm trying to remember all the names offhand. I want to say everything. Who else you guys got that we haven't quite seen out there yet for the Immortals? Because I know you guys got a lot of friends all over the place. You've got Moats coming in for you.
Yes, most definitely. Well, I will say that we do have a few studs that were not able to make it. I don't want to. I'm not gonna bend house and tell the secret, but we got some more coming. Just stay tuned. If you want to watch the live feeds or come see the game in person to get our attendance up, then definitely you want to come and see us put on a show.
Hey, strong recommendation. You guys had a hell of a show up there over the weekend. The Keystone League is pretty impressive, I will say that. It's grown a lot in the years since I first heard about it. I'm glad to see you all up there playing and doing your thing still on the flag level. Now, what do you think, looking around, though, would you say you guys are the second best team in the league, or do you feel like you are the best currently?
I would definitely say that if I say that we are the best, I would not be lying. So I would definitely say that we are the best team in that league. So I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm not going to sit up here and play second fiddle to nobody. So we're definitely going to be the team to beat. And like I said, when we play X-Dogs next go round, it's going to be a different outcome.
Yeah, I think so too. I get the feeling because I know you guys got connections, and that was a small roster. Mm-hmm. I'll be curious to see what the big picture looks like come June when the championship matters the most.
Oh, that's
But I
right.
do feel like
And
I do.
for the rest of the teams that's in the Keystone Flag Football League, I know the Gators. They got lucky week 1 because they didn't see us week 1 because everybody was out doing their thing. But everybody else, you can stand by to stand by.
Yeah, and if anybody's overlooking you guys at this point, they're making a major mistake. I was in that Gators sideline, and I called a little conversation when I was mentioning you guys being number 2 in the power rankings. That's not official yet. That'll be later on. But they said they feel like they're still a little bit ahead of you all, regardless of who you bring in.
Well, I mean,
They got the win over you all. I will say that.
yes,
But
you got to be. We're not talking about a if you're better by record physically. If the Gators line up next to us, it's not close. It's not
not
close. I
close.
mean, that it's not close at all. We won't
Okay.
even play a fourth quarter with the Gators because we're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them by that much.
All right. No,
So
we'll put that down for the next game.
you can take note of that, baby.
And if any of the Gators are watching, you got any response to what Chili just said, feel free to chime in as well. He laid out the gauntlet for you all. Let me tell you, I know these guys. He's right. They're above you all right now. I know how good they could be. I saw it firsthand down here, and I've seen it on the circuit.
Mm-hmm.
They got some pretty talented players on this Immortals team, and if anybody in Keystone's overlooking them now, you are making a major mistake, my friends.
On notice, baby. You better be on notice because we coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next game coming up, I think you guys, who do you got this weekend? I want to say it's
The Browns.
The Browns. Yeah, that's an interesting matchup on paper.
Yes. And you know what? The Browns, we definitely won't take them light. You know, they have some decent players. And they lost a heartbreaker to the Gators. And like I said, football is definitely any given Sunday, type of league. But we're definitely going to we have to come out and set the tone, and we're going to bring it. And hopefully they can give us a good game. I don't want to end it early, but if that's the case, then we're gonna have to send them home packing early.
Ooh, we hear that. Chili, you got no chill tonight at all, actually.
No, not at all, Joey. Because like I said, they took Immortals last season. Like we literally played with 9 or 10 people. And everybody thought that Immortal was coming back, but we're totally revamped.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You never know what a team really has until they bring it all out there in that final few weeks of the season. Well, you get a small glimpses here or there, especially the experienced teams like you guys. You guys have been on the circuit. You've been everywhere. You know when the right time is to have everything together and everything right. I feel like these Keystone guys, a lot of them are a little experienced when it comes to the 9-man game, but they're getting a lesson. They're getting better each passing week. But I do agree. I feel like you guys are better than Chip Flip. And I do feel like you guys are better than any other team besides the X-Dogs. Now, how it matters comes the end of the season, we'll find out. Sorry,
Yes.
I'm starting a little bit. It's been a long day.
Yes, no doubt. Like I said, you can't take nothing away from the X-Dogs, man. Those boys, they are you can't. The chemistry is unmatched. They've been together through thick and water. So that chemistry with the players that they got, especially that D line, the O and D line, them boys are freaking next to none, next to me and my crew.
I would agree. Looking at you guys in that game on Saturday, that to me was 1A and 1B. There was no 1 or 2. It's 1A and 1B.
No doubt. Doubt.
I'm going to tell you, anybody in Keystone or anybody in general who did not watch that game, please go back on my page and rewatch the entire broadcast. We have the entire thing for you on Joey Blaze, X-Dogs and Mortals, Instant Classic. That game is what flag football is all about.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Definitely a instant classic.
For certain. Anything else you want to get out of the way, Chili, before we head out?
Honestly, not really. Stay tuned for Washington County Flag Football. You're gonna see me there too.
Ooh,
And
hey, we gotta get a
and
field first. We gotta get a field first.
they kind of got us secured, but they're gonna put out the details later. And I will say this: when you see me there, my team is gonna win the championship. You heard it here first.
All right. Chili is playing for the championship team. We'll
You
mark
heard
that
it.
down.
You heard it here first.
Are you looking to take both leagues this spring?
Yes, Chile's gonna take both leagues this spring.
Chili's going for both leagues this spring. All right.
Yes.
You playing in OC by any chance, Chili?
If the good Lord say the same, I coach travel basketball as well. So they're trying to put a tournament in there. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it or not.
Okay, okay.
But the plan is to make it.
All right. You want to tell us who you're playing on right now, or you want to keep that a little low key with the audience?
Yeah.
I just want to see you guys pop up on teams. I'll tell you, the best surprise in the game is when you roll up and see who's on what squad that day.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. At the end of the day, it's about it's all about family. And when I started this circuit, I was red, white, and blue. And when I come back to it in OC,
Hey, I know what you're saying. That's awesome.
the nation, baby, you already know. So,
hell yeah, dude. Hey, I'll be down there too. I'll be looking forward to it.
hey, sounds good, my brother. I will be there, hopefully.
All right. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll see you there, and I'll definitely catch you next weekend over in Keystone, a Killer Bees matchup. We'll get to that next week, however.
Oh,
We're a little ahead. Got to look at the Browns first.
No doubt.
But thank you for joining us tonight, Chili. Look forward to seeing you more soon.
No problem. Hey, stay tuned. You're gonna see him in a couple years.
Couple years? All right. Look forward to seeing you, little man.
Oh yeah. All right, Joey. Say again.
You plan on still playing by then?
Oh, most definitely. Well, I'll be a coach by then.
Coach by then? All right.
Yeah.
Coach
doubt.
Chili, I like it. I like it.
I got 5 boys. So I'll be scattered everywhere.
Oh, that's a starting 5 for a traveling basketball team, right?
Oh yeah, you better know it, baby.
There you go. Go out there and keep winning, Chili.
Hey, no doubt, Joey. You have a good one.
You too, sir.
All right now.
All right. That was Chili us from the Immortals. Ross,
Yes, sir.
what do you think? Do you think that the Immortals have the Keystone lock and sealed?
Beat 'em.
So you think just because the X-Dogs just beat them, that means that they're not going to beat them in a rematch?
You don't know the rematch.
That's true. We never know who.
Right now, the X-Dogs have it. I mean, they haven't lost a game
Yeah,
the whole time the league's existed.
that is a thing. There are 5. There's 5 more gifts coming. Lord. Yeah, I was reading Sean Riley's comments. Hey, Sean, if you want to call in response to Chili, the forum is open to you right now, brother. I'd love to hear from you and the rest of the Ship Flip Gators, especially after that conversation. But looking ahead, the second game of the day, as we move on past the Immortals X-Dogs game, instant classic. Like I said, if you have not watched that game yet, go back and watch it. It's a thriller from start to finish.
I need to watch the whole thing.
You need to watch it all. Everybody needs to watch the whole thing. Like, it's an instant classic. But moving on to the second game that day, Killer Bees against the Spartans. It was the battle of the winless teams. 27-6 was the result of this one. It was a very sloppy game for the Bees. The Bees had nearly 30 guys. If I'm wrong on that, guys, forgive me. But that's just what it seemed like. The Spartans only dressed about 12. The Spartans were well overmatched, but penalties and turnovers by the Bees kept the Spartans in that game. There were several times where drives were completely dead, but the Bees would proceed to just choke it away with a penalty. The game turned around late, however, as the Bees responded to a Spartan score of a fantastic sequence where Joppy caught the ball out of the backfield. That's right, Joppy from the Red Knights, and pitched it back to Tyler Spencer, who took it in for 6. And let me tell you, Our buddy Spence had quite the game on today. 2 touchdowns and an interception. And the one time he's got this Player of the Week-esque performance, he's not in the studio with us. And
Yo,
Tyler, how you doing?
cooling. Playing some Xbox.
Might plug in the headset.
Might need a headset.
Yeah, might have to plug it in.
Oh, that's trash.
It's all right, dude. We've seen it all the time.
How's this?
I can hear me.
Is this better?
I can hear you. I can hear myself. That's why. Try putting the headphones back in.
I don't have any headphones.
What are you wearing right now? Then?
It's my Xbox.
Oh, you're Shit, dog. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you talk about your game. Go ahead.
Killer Bees are the best team in the KFFL. I'm the best player in the KFFL. Throw me the ball. That's it.
That's it? Okay. That was all Tyler had to say. Tyler Spencer, 2 touchdowns overall. Great performance and the interception. Spartans are still winless. The question is, can the Spartans find a win? Ross, do you feel like this team is trending further downward?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, who do they still have left to play?
Everybody, practically.
Okay. Yeah.
Sean Riley says, wow. Sean, are you coming on tonight? The form is yours, brother. Speaking of Gators, and speaking of the Gators, 10-6 over the Browns. The Browns had chances, but they could not capitalize. They rotated numerous QBs, but every time they tried, same result. Turnover on downs, interception. Not a good game for the Browns.
I was rooting for the Browns, too.
Yeah, we all root for the Browns deep down inside. We all care for them. They're your favorite team, Ross. If he doesn't need a line, then Ross is available, just so you know.
Oh, man, I didn't say all that.
Hey, it sounds like you've been trying to audition for them, I can tell.
Oh, no, I might play for the Browns. You never know.
You never know, yeah. The Gators' defense was the one thing that stuns me the most in this game. They dominated throughout. They were shutting the Browns out for almost the entire game until the final minute when the Browns drove 97 yards to get that score, all mostly on run plays by the quarterback. I did not catch his name, so I apologize to the guy who played Q in that final drive. They managed to score, but could not recover the onside kick. So the Browns go down. Gators win. Now the power rankings are interesting because the Gators do have a better record than the Immortals, but I said it earlier, the Immortals are technically a better team in my opinion. No offense to Chip Flip. I know these guys, and these same guys, they beat your head in Gettysburg when they were called Mayhem. And it was lopsided then, and I don't know how it's going to go now, but if they bring in the guys they had on Mayhem for this Immortals team, or even the guys they have connections with in county, like a Sean Moats, for example, or anybody else they know, then it's not a contest. It really isn't. Facts. See? Guest agrees. Chili agrees.
Of course it does.
Looking at the power rankings, as we get to that segment, Spartans, number 6, are 0-3. They're outnumbered. They're outgunned. They had a shot against the Bees, but unfortunately, they just failed to obtain victory once more. The one thing I noticed with this team is they lack the numbers and they lack the receiving core. There were a lot of drops. Their quarterback, Wendison, did a great job keeping him alive in that game until the very end. Same for Smalls, the one receiver they had. Props to him. He played a hell of a game offensively and defensively.
I'm going to play tight end for them.
You want to play tight end, Ross, for the Spartans?
Yep.
Okay, Spartans, look up Ross Collins. He wants to play tight end for you. Tell me what you think. Ross just wants to get back out there. He's missing football.
Throw me the ball, man. I'll catch it.
I'll take your word for it. Looking at number 5 on the countdown, Killer Bees 1 and 2. But once again, Spartans, real quick. You guys have potential. I can tell. There is heart on that team. It's just the numbers game seems like to be the biggest problem. We'll see how it goes. Looking at number 5, Killer Bees 1 and 2. They managed to finally score a victory this week. But it wasn't really that impressive. They had twice the numbers the Spartans had. They just escaped them in the fourth quarter. It was only 14-6 in the fourth at one point.
Right.
And then they pulled away with those scores I mentioned, the interception by Spence and the touchdown off the lateral. And aside from that, just not an impressive game for the Bees. They don't look like the team they were last fall in terms of winning. And I kind of wonder if they have what it takes long-term to win. They got numbers, don't get me wrong. I saw it. They got almost a full sideline over there. Looking at, but we'll see what happens. For now, the Bees 1 and 2, not very impressive against the Spartans. Hopefully they turn it around, but we'll see. Looking at number 4 on this countdown are the Browns, 2 and 2. They just couldn't pull it together against the Gators, whose defense nearly pitched a second shutout this season. That Gators defense is underrated, I will say that. They do play good, disciplined football up front, that Gators defense. The Browns, they seemed like they were going through struggles with people in terms of quarterbacks and identity throughout the game. I think Corey told me it wasn't his best team out there, and I can tell it wasn't their best team out there. We'll see how it goes the rest of the way, but a bad loss for the Browns is rather unfortunate. It was a big game against Shipflip, but at the end the Gators held on. We'll see what happens going forward. Looking at number 3 on that is the very team who beat the Browns, the Shipflip Gators. And I know they're going to not like this because they did beat the Immortals week 1. But let me tell you, I know these guys. If they get the guys they know, it's over. Right now, I think it might be over. I'm not saying anything. Just remember Gettysburg. When I watched Mayhem sweep the floor with the Gators. So Gators, number 3, they got a defense. I just don't know if they can win up front in the trenches against this very physical and very tough Immortals team. We'll see when that actually happens. That won't be for a little bit. But for now, Gators, I got you guys a 3. I did not come away that impressed from the Browns game outside of the defense. The offense was not that great, but the defense played well enough that you got the win. But if I were to put you guys against the Immortals team I saw on Saturday against your team, I'm pretty certain that Fox and company run through you. No offense, but those guys are tough up front. They're physical, and I've already seen what they can do. We'll see what happens, though. And speaking of number 2, the Immortals. And everyone's going to say that's controversial because they are 1 and 2, and they lost to the X-Dogs. But who has scored? Let me tell you a stat. The X-Dogs only allowed 8 points total between last year and this game in Keystone. They let 13 happen on Saturday to the Immortals. The Immortals did something that no one else in this team could do. Scored double digits, or league rather. Scored double digits against X-Dogs. And I'm loving the comments, by the way, guys. Keep them going. It was entertaining to read. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is flag football season, buddy. I'm ready. This is great. But the Immortals, number 2, if they bring the guys they all know, it's over. I know what they got. You guys up in Keystone may not know, but I do. I've seen it firsthand. They got the interior war. They got the trench war. Moats and Chili, that's enough to beat almost every team in this league except for the X-Dogs. But it does match evenly against them. They got the athletes. They brought out Justin Fox over the weekend.
Right.
Fox put up 13, and I know you guys will say that's not that impressive, but if Justin Fox was playing against most other teams, he might have scored more. But this team is on their way. For now, they're number 2. I know it's going to be controversial at 1 and 2, but in my opinion, they did something that no other team has done in this league. And that was push the X-Dogs, who will finish number 1. They didn't dominate, but they did enough to stay undefeated and atop the rankings. Shout out to the X Dogs for hanging in there. We'll see how long it lasts, though, because I feel like the cracks are happening. We'll see how it all goes. Looking ahead, however, to this weekend's lineup of games. 9 a.m., it'll be the Browns against the Immortals. Peter knows, yeah. I know you do. I know you do, Peter. Browns, 9 a.m. against the Immortals. First ever meeting between both of these squads. We'll be curious to see what they have. And at 10 a.m., we're going to have the Ship Flip Gators against the Killer Bees. I actually had the rankings backwards on my notes. Silly me. Bees lead the series all-time 3-2. And let me tell you, this actually is quite a rivalry here in the Keystone Flag Football League. The Bees beat the Gators last spring in the first matchup, but Ship Flip won the rematch a few weeks later. The Bees won again in the fall, but the Gators won the rematch again in the fall. And as we notice, in the even number games, Ship Flip wins, but the odd goes to the Bees, as the Bees defeated the Gators to win the fall championship. Chili's got the Bees winning. Okay. We'll see. We'll see in predictions. Getting over here to the final matchup of the day. Spartans X-Dogs, and if the Spartans have what they had on Saturday, everybody start praying, because it will get bad quickly. They got a lot of heart, they just need the numbers. And now we get to predictions here in Keystone.
Good luck. I've been there and done that.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys want to call in, we're still taking calls at this time. I'm just going through what I got in the script for tonight. Looking at the matchups, I got the Immortals over the Browns. I'm not sure what each side will have this week, but if each brings their best, I could see this being an intriguing game. From what I was told, this wasn't the best Browns team over the weekend that I saw. It wasn't what they normally got.
Right.
But I did see what the Immortals have, and if both squads meet up, that could be a nice, even physical matchup. I don't know who's going to play Q for the Immortals this weekend. It was Fox, but Fox doesn't quite live around here. We'll see what they got.
Me.
They got connections all over the place. They got enough people, so we'll see. I'm going to go with my friends in the Immortals in this one.
I think I have an idea who the QB's going to be.
You have an idea, Ross?
I'm not going to say anything.
I think I know what you're thinking.
Yeah. I'm going with Immortals, though.
Yeah, I'm going Immortals. So Ross and I picked the Immortals. Second matchup, Gators and Bees. This is going to be an intriguing matchup. Bees have numbers. If the Gators bring everybody too, though, it could be interesting. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying there. Ignore that. The Gators have a defense. The one thing I noticed with the Bees' offense last week was that they're very stagnant.
Right.
They had plays that were open against the Spartans, but it was mostly because of just being able to wear them down. As somebody actually wants to. Oh, okay. We're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it off here to talk to a Gator. Actually, Gators over Bees though. I think their defense will keep them in the game, and they'll be able to shut down that Bees offense that was just absolutely stagnant. What do you think, Ross?
I'll go with the Bees.
Bees?
Yeah.
Why?
Just cause.
Just cause?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to get them on.
Is Tyler playing?
Tyler's playing. Does that mean they're going to win or lose?
I'm going with the Bees. I'm going with the Bees.
Try to get him on, if I can get it. Sean, I keep getting a no answer on your end. I don't know why it's happening like that. Let me see if I can just add you in myself.
I'm going to get a beer.
Or I can just X this out and add you in manually. Sean, send it one more time. Unless you're watching on your computer, Sean, you got to watch on your phone. But I'm going to finish predictions off while Sean tries to connect. Yeah, you might want to send it one more time, bud. Because it wasn't letting me add you on my end. Assuming you're on the phone. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, try to, if you're on your mobile. I know, that's the weird part. It wouldn't let me actually answer you for some reason. Hold on, Sean. I'm going to get you this time. Okay. Never mind. It's not letting me Here, we're going to try this again. It's actually adding him. I don't know what was going on, but we know live by now is weird. Joining us right now, if it goes through, is Sean Riley of the Ship Flip Gators.
Oh, it worked. What's going on? Yeah, I can barely hear. Oh, hold on. Let me turn this down. What'd you say? A pair of headphones. No, probably not. I don't think so. So you can't. I mean, I'll answer any questions you got. I don't know really what you want me to say. Well, I think we could have really had a way better score in that game. We left a lot of points on the field. A lot of drives ended inside the 10. Even the drive that we kicked the field goal on, we really just wanted a 2-score lead there. We probably could have scored from the 1. I think we really we were trying a new quarterback out. That kind of was a different deal for us. But a lot of different guys moving around, just trying to figure things out right now at the moment. But I really think that we could have done a little better there. And at the end, we got a little cute that last touchdown. There was only 1:20 to go in the game. We probably should have just ran the ball and kneeled it and ran the clock out and won 10-0. But we decided to try to throw a bomb to our lineman, and he's a lineman, so that ended predictably. And they got the ball back with enough time to throw a meaningful. And it actually ended up being kind of tight then, because then they got the kick onside and everything. And I mean, it was a little closer than I wanted it to be, considering we could have just kneeled it and ended it. But yeah, I mean, this week we got the Bees. They seem like they're ready to go. I don't know that they have the talent they had last year, but they've been playing together long enough now that anything can happen. Yeah. So I mean, that's always a big rivalry. I don't know that I don't know that it'll be as big a rivalry now, just because there's not really too much bad blood or anything there with any of the guys. That we mostly respect most of those guys, and they have respect for us now. And that's really all it's about. I mean, if we give each other that, then there's not usually too much extracurricular stuff going on, and it's not as heated as it's been in the past. We found that to be true with the Browns as well. We kind of had a little bit of a beef with them early on in the spring league, and now we're pretty tight with those guys. We're pretty cool with those guys. They're all good guys. Something about what? The Immortals?
Yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it is we play the Bees this week. I'm gonna hit you with my Bill Belichick, because I am a coach. So, we're on to the Killer Bees. Immortals was a tough game. They came, they fought hard. We won 12-0. That matters. And we're gonna go and move on to the Bees now. We play them next, and that's where our focus is. We want to beat the Bees and start off 3-1. Have strong control of the bye week spot, and continue to control that into the playoffs, and that'll give us a better chance. But we're really just looking at it one game at a time here, and we're trying to take down the Bees right now.
Yeah. How much
I don't know. I mean, I think for us, like, our Bees rivalry kind of goes back further than this league, actually. Before we were actually the Gators officially, we played in a South Central PA 9-man league. It was a very small league, just a few teams. One of the teams went on to become the Spartans, I believe, and the other one of the teams went on to become the Bees, and then the other team was us. There was only 3 or 4 teams in this league, very small church league, and that's where we first ran into the Bees. We kind of just were playing that for fun, a few guys, and we ran into the Bees there, and they have grown a lot since then, because back then they didn't score points. They lost basically all the time, and they've just stuck with it. They've continued to recruit, and they've recruited hard. They've brought in guys from all around, and they got good enough to win the entire league. And so that was a testament to Eric's recruiting and just, what they've put together, guys stepping aside, letting other guys have their positions and whatnot, and letting the best guys play. But as far as last year's team, I mean, we don't have to play them. So that's really where my head's at with that, is we got a whole new slate of guys here. I know they've got some of the same guys, not all the same guys, but enough of them are talented that they can get by. I know they got number 20. I think his name's Isaiah. He plays in various different leagues. He's one of the fastest guys that you'll find on a football field. So you got to contain that guy. You can't let him get out into space. They've got, I believe, he was playing quarterback number 4. I believe his name's Ron. I mean, he's a hell of an athlete. Yeah, he's a hell of an athlete. Like you gotta dedicate some time to stopping that guy as well. You can't ignore him on the football field. And just a few of the other guys that have been playing a while. We know BJ. We know Nick. Actually, Nick played quarterback for us in the Hanover League this summer, so we got to know Nick pretty well. That's kind of how we mended fences with the Bees as well. As Nick came and said, I don't know why all this is happening, but there's no reason for all that arguing and bickering and stuff and all that. And we're just gonna play football, have fun, and hopefully take them down. I think Nick will be playing quarterback for them too, so it'll be a whole, it's basically a whole new team that we're playing now compared to what we played in the fall. So it's not really, it's not. We don't got to play those guys, and I don't really know what to think of them, but I can't really factor that game into it. I think a lot of those guys are on Immortals now, actually. Yeah. So, I mean. I expect them to be ready. I expect them to be a close game. I mean, they played Browns close. We played Browns close. We all got our asses kicked by the X-Dogs, so it should be right there. That should be right where it's at, right? I mean, it should be pretty close, I would think. I do know that we've got, and I think everybody's used this excuse so far, but we've got several guys that haven't come yet, so, and especially some big guys, some linemen, and some big meat up front that can block and that can get to the quarterback. So, we're looking forward to having all those guys on deck. I know we brought in Pat Crawford from Gettysburg. He's pretty well known in different leagues, and he's a hell of a player too. And these guys are just smart flag guys. One thing I've learned, and this is something I wanted to say, is we don't have like zero respect for any team, but we wait till you're on the field. And if you beat us on the field, then we respect you. You know what I mean? That's just how we are. A lot of these guys, I noticed that the other teams kind of like, they treat it like, well, we're new to this and they know more. So, that's kind of the dynamic we have is they're above us or whatever. But we look at it as like, we're all just football players. This is just one of the formats we've played. It's actually the lowest format most of us have ever played. 9-minute flag football compared to, competitive high school football would put above flag football. I still would. We're not getting hit. And these guys have done pretty, a lot of these guys, every one of us has played big-time football at some place, semi-pro, high school, college, whatever. And this isn't something that's new to us, the game. It's just this 9-man format might be new to us, but we have the athletes, and these guys have stopped, their fair share of good athletes on a football field. It's just a matter of time before we figure out the 9-man game and apply it here. That's just where we're at with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you say?
You're doing good.
Yeah. We're trying to keep it rolling. This is, when you get older, this is what football you have left for you. So, and some of these guys are, they're in their early 20s and stuff. And if you're not going to go the tackle route, then this is it for you. This is the highest level of football you can play as an adult, pretty much. If you're not going, if you're not going to the NFL or going semi-pro or going somewhere else like that. So I will say that there are great athletes out here, but but I don't think it's something that we can't handle in the long run. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so yeah, I mean, we're just gonna go out here and keep chipping away at it, and hopefully we can someday earn these guys respect, because it doesn't seem like they respect us very much. I'll tell you that much.
Well, right now,
Which
actually,
okay.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, thanks.
Sean, what I was saying was, and the audio difficulty, guys, I believe is definitely coming from head. I don't know what it is. I gotta fix that issue. Yeah, make sure to have a pair of headphones close by. I'm gonna start instructing that, because sometimes these calls are fine. Like Chili was perfect earlier,
Really.
and then Tyler and Sean unfortunately weren't. But as I was saying, the Gator, I do have respect for this Gators team. Don't get me wrong. I know I was bashing on them earlier. I brought up Gettysburg and what happened against Mayhem, but I do have respect for what they do. These guys do seem like they know what they're doing. They seem like smart football players on top of it, which is very key to winning the game. Being on the field with them Saturday, I saw that firsthand. Much praise to them with the way they play. The question becomes, though, are they enough to win this league? Which X-Dogs, we know, is going to be hard to catch.
Right.
So right now, I believe it's them and the Immortals fighting for second. But right now, I think the Immortals are just a little bit better. But thanks, Sean, for joining us. We still are taking calls, but make sure there's a headphone set nearby just in case. We're fixing through the problems slowly. We're figuring it out quickly as time goes on. And as you look at the final game of the day, as I mentioned, I got the Gators winning this one. I feel like their defense will be enough to stifle the Bees' offense. No offense, Tyler Spencer, but I think you take an L this weekend. Looking at the final match of the day, X-Dogs over Spartans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't even say the matchup. I said my prediction instead. Yeah. X-Dogs over Spartans.
Yeah.
And we move on now from Keystone. Guys, thank you for joining us again. You're 36? I didn't think you're 36, Sean. Huh. As we shift away from Keystone for a little bit, we still are taking calls, however. We're just going to get to this last thing real quick for tonight. And that is the Brunswick Railroaders Montgomery County Rams game on Saturday. 1 o'clock, we'll have that for you. Ross, do you want to come join us and talk about this matchup at all? No? Okay, perfect. If anybody wants to give comments on this matchup, feel free to call in. Railroaders, Moco Rams, that's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Hyattsville, Maryland will be played at. We're going to have a pregame show for you kicking off at 12 o'clock p.m. A live special issue of Blood Talk featuring Joey Blaze, where I'll make my predictions, we'll take calls, and we'll preview the matchup. For now, though, anybody's last thoughts for tonight? Ross?
Go Caps.
Go Caps?
Yep.
Okay. Are they winning? I haven't looked this whole time.
They already won.
They already won?
They won their division and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations. Shout out Washington Capitals winning their division.
Yep.
No offense to the Keystone guys. I imagine most of you are Pittsburgh fans.
Really.
Ross at the Smack Talk.
Just saying.
But thank you for once again joining us. I'm Joey Blaze. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you guys on Saturday for the Brunswick Moco Rams and for the Keystone Flag Football League. Thanks for the love. Peace.